Hi guys, welcome back to Stitched by Esther channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to craft a princess dart pattern. Guys, please like my video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment. Thank you so much. Now let's jump right into the tutorial. Yeah, I'm just marking my measurements, my shoulder to bust points, shoulder to under bust, and shoulder to waist. The shoulder to bust point I'm working with is 11 inches. Shoulder to under bust is 14 inches and shoulder to waist is 18 inches. So that is what I'm marking now. That means the length of this pattern paper is 18 inches. That is for my shoulder to the waist. And the width of the paper is the bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches allowance. That is the width of this pattern paper. I will extend the lines to the ends of the pattern paper and I'll label each lines, that is the bust points, the under bust and the waist. Now from the bust point, I'll go up by 2 inches. That will give me my chest line. From the bust point, I'm going up just like I'm doing now. I'm going up by 2 inches. That will give me the chest line. The next thing is to go in with my shoulder measurement. Shoulder divided by 2 is what I'm marking now. The shoulder I'm working with is 16 and 16 divided by 2 is 8 inches. So I'll mark it on the shoulder line and also on the chest line and connect with a straight line. Then I'll move to the neckline. I'm using a neck width of 3 inches and the depth will be 4 inches. 3 inches by 4 inches. For the shoulder slope, I'll come down from the shoulder line by 1.5 inches. That is for the shoulder slope. And I'll connect with my ruler straight to the neckline. The next thing is to go in with the bust measurement. The bust divided by 4 is what I'm marking now. The bust measurement divided by 4. And also on the waistline, you go in with the waist measurement. Waist divided by 4 plus 2 inches for that. I'll be using 2 inches for that, so I'm adding the 2 inches to my waist divided by 4 plus 2 inches. Then from the chest line, I'll go up by 3 inches. Then from the 3 inches mark, I'll go in by 1/4 inch. Then I'll go in with my curve. To connect the armhole. The next thing is to go in with the nipple to nipple measurement. The nipple to nipple measurement I'm working with is 9. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5 inches. So I'll go in with the 4.5 inches now. I'll mark it on the waistline and also on the chest line. Then I'll connect with a ruler. Since we added 2 inches allowance for that, now I'll go in by 1 inch on both sides to make up for the 2 inches we added to the waist measurement for that. And I'll connect straight to the bust point. Now we can now introduce our bust dart. I'll be using 2 inches for the bust dart for this pattern. So I'll mark my 2 inches, then I'll connect it to the bust point, just like I'm doing now. Because it's a princess dart pattern, I'll look for the midpoint of my armhole. When I get the midpoint, I'll make a mark at that point. Then I will introduce my curve now. From that point I marked for the midpoint of the armhole, I'll connect it with a curve back to the bust point. You can just watch what I'm doing right now. From that mark I made for the midpoint, I connected it back to the bust point. So from that midpoint now, I'll come down by 1/2 inch. This 1/2 inch is to eliminate any gaping at the armhole parts. So this will eliminate any gaping there. Now I'll go in with my curve again to withdraw the armhole. From that 1/2 inch mark, I have to withdraw the armhole to cover up for the 1/2 inch we took out, just like I did now. And with that, the front pattern is done for the princess dart. Just before I cut out, I just thought to mention that I modified my neckline a little bit. Yeah, I just changed the neckline a bit, that's all. I'm cutting out the pattern now. I'll close my bust dart, modify any shortage at the side with a ruler and connect back. And if there's any pointed part at the bust point, I'll trim it out also. So I'm just cutting it out now. That's all for the front pattern. For the back pattern, the length of this pattern paper is 16 inches. So the length of my back pattern is 16. That is from the shoulder to the waist. Remember that the front pattern, the length is 18 inches, but for the back pattern, the length of the back pattern is 16 inches. So here I'm marking 1.5 inches by the side for the zip allowance. So I marked 1.5 inches for the zip allowance. I'll go in now to mark my chest line. From shoulder to chest line is 9 inches. That is what I'm marking now. The shoulder to the chest line is 9 inches, and I connected with a ruler. The next thing is to go in with my shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8 inches. I'll mark the 8 inches on the shoulder line and also on the chest line. The neckline width is 3 inches, while for the shoulder slope, I'll come down by 1 inch from the shoulder line, just like I marked now. Then I'll connect with a ruler. I'm marking 1 inch for the neckline depth. I'll mark 1 inch and go in with a curve to connect it. I'll connect it and extend the lines to the zip allowance. I'll go in with my nipple to nipple now. The nipple to nipple I'm working with is 9. 9 inches divided by 2 is 4.5 inches. So I'll mark it on the chest line and also on the waistline, and I'll connect with a ruler. Now to eliminate any bulge at the back of the dress, I'll go in just like I'm marking now by 1/4 of an inch, and I'll connect it back to the top. This will eliminate any bulge at the back of the dress. Now I'm going in with my bust measurements. The bust measurement divided by 4 is what I'm marking now. And on the waistline, I'll go in with the waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch for that. That is what I marked now. And I'll connect with a ruler. We added 1 inch for allowance for that, so that is what I'll mark now. I'll mark ½ inch on both sides. Then from the chest line, I'll come down by 1 inch. That is where the dart leg will start from. So from that 1 inch mark, I'll connect it back to the waistline, just like I'm doing now. Now I'll get the midpoint from the shoulder line and chest line. When I get the midpoint, I'll make a mark at the midpoint. Then from that point now, I'll go in by ½ inch. Then I'll use my curve to connect it to form the armhole, just like I'm doing now. Now from that midpoint that we got is where the princess line will be. Don't forget we are drafting a princess dart pattern. So from that midpoint, I'll go in with my curve now. Just like we did with the front pattern, to avoid any shortage at the armhole part while stitching, I'll go in with my curve again and redraw the armhole. That is what I'm doing now. Now we are left with the zip allowance. Because of the changes we made to the zip allowance earlier, we have to remark the 1.5 inches again. That is what I'm doing now. Then I'll connect it back. And with that, we are done with the back pattern. We can now cut it out. Guys, we have come to the end of this video. Please like my video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, click on the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.